What is going on, Lunatic Fringe? New studio, who dis? So let's talk about what's going on in the Terra Luna Classic ecosystem right now. There's a lot to unpack. We're going to go through it. We're going to try to do it pretty quickly here. So make sure you hit the like button on the way in, and let's start off. Now, before we get going, trobits.com, trobits.com. It's up there at the top. That's one of the sponsors of the channel for this month. Now, here's the thing. Guys, what I need you to do is go to this website and just try it out. It's free. You don't have to log in. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to do anything. But here's the deal. If you go to this website right now, then every time we go, Luna Classic is burnt, and it's burnt because of those ads up there at the top and the ads down here at the bottom. Ads everywhere. That's how this site works. So if you just engage with this content, then guess what? You're going to be burning and contributing to Luna Classic burns. Now, for the month, we've had up until the last 2 days, we've had a pretty good increase in the number of burns, especially over the last week. So down over this weekend, March 16, March 17, not been great days so far. March 15, also a little bit of a downward trend. So we want to see a lot more burns happening. And in order for that to happen, what we need is you going to this website and just clicking and reading some articles, checking it out. They're giving you your daily news break. They're giving you daily news feeds. Check it out. Also, if you're a SHIB holder, if you happen to be a SHIB holder, they're also burning SHIB. And let me give you an idea of the amounts over here. 800,000 in a day, 750,000 in a day. They're burning a significant amount of crypto every single day, and they are doing it 100% based on ads. So go check this out today and become part of the solution, not part of the problem. All right, so there's an article up from Binance. Again, this is from Trader Hussein, and really, I wanted to give you this article because it felt like, can it rise from the ashes? It was going to be a good question. And is somebody going to answer that and give you an idea and a perspective that maybe I didn't have? And the end of this was no. As a matter of fact, it just said that the reason for it to happen is going to be community power regular. So it really is just a nothing. It's an AI-generated article, basically. So it doesn't really give us any kind of value in its opinion or anything like that. So, you know, I appreciate it. Glad to see it on Binance. But I think now they're just making stuff up. And that's also, by the way, I think that's a pretty good thing because that does mean that there is some attention being paid over here and people want your eyes. If they want your eyes, they want it for some reason. And I think the reason that Binance wants it is because something will happen in this ecosystem and Binance will help and be behind it at some point. So, you know, even though there's nothing to this, still might be something soon. Favorability, looks like Luna Classic is starting to pump just a little bit, but you know, again, zooming out on the 7-day. 7-day actually looks pretty good. So Luna Classic holding up well versus Bitcoin so far. We'll see whether that continues or not. I assume that Bitcoin's probably on the verge either of a massive pump or a massive dump. Something's going to happen one way or another. By the way, in the event, I'm going to show you the charts in a moment, in the event that there is a dump coming, this is just going to be, in my opinion, just a flash crash. You're going to see maybe some sideways movement for a few days, and then boom, we start to get that explosive rally. Or maybe that last dump that we had, maybe that was it. So we'll see. Now, because of the changes at Binance and because of the change where they were going to do zero swap fee, there is somebody requesting, and it has not come up for a governance vote, but they are saying that maybe it's time to raise the burn tax on chain in order to compensate for the fact that Binance is not going to be burning anything for a while. So for those of you that don't know, in Binance's latest announcement, it was announced that they start a zero swap fee program. This will last until September of 2025 to compensate for resulting loss in long burns. A tax raise to 90% is proposed to continue to replenish the Oracle pool and keep the staking stable. So we're not there yet. We'll have to see how it's playing out, and somebody's going to have to guide. And you know, I think that's important. Somebody's going to have to be the voice of reason in this ecosystem, and we don't have a steering committee. So there's nobody here to tell us what's good, bad, or indifferent. We're just winging it and hoping for the best. So maybe this is something to consider. I don't know that it is, but look, anytime there's a tax like that, it's going to prohibit building on the ecosystem, and it's going to focus on the burn, which I think is the right thing I think it's the right thing to focus on, but it will not bring in new people. We should at least recognize that the more you tax people, the less they're going to engage. So good, bad, and as far as meme coins go, base down a little bit on the day. Looking around, you don't see any kind of real big pump. You got maybe 2% out of Garuda X. You can look at the value over here. It seems like everything's just kind of moving along here. We haven't seen a breakout candidate in a while. And Hera is up about, remember, we did that with $25 again, and it's at about $100 now. So we're up about 4x at this point. So good play as it is so far. The rest of it just seems like it's kind of moving sideways at this moment, looking for a little bit of direction in them. As far as the proposals that are up right now, we got reclassification of Terra USD to Universal Standard Token, which is probably not going to go through. In fact, we're going to look up some of the reasons. Then we've got establishing the classic sub-DAO initiative, which has seems like there's a little bit of a fight in this one. And by the way, I do think that if you go through X, you'll see what people's opinions are. Lunk Live, Weso, the Mr. Diamond Hands, seems to be pretty opposed to it, thinking that this is just an attempt by some other actors to centralize a little bit. And, I'm not sure whether I agree with that or not. Just to give you my opinion, I think that there's some level of steering that is mandatory for any I mean, again, let me just go back to the fundamental point of Terra Luna Classic. The collapse was almost 3 years ago, and we don't have a website. Let that sink in. Say what you want about anybody who's talking about centralization or decentralization. Say whatever you want about any of that. It's 2025. It's been almost 3 years. We do not have a website. Let that sink in. Don't let the words around you sink in. Let the truth. We don't have a website for Luna Classic. If I'm a new person wanting to get involved, if I'm somebody in the United States and all I want is to find a gem that's going to give me a potential 50 to 100x, I'm going to go to CoinMarketCap. I'm going to start looking around. I'm going to go to Luna Classic. I'm going to say, hey, this has got a chance. This might be a runner. I'm going to click on it, and guess what? There's no website. Just let that sink in. Just Pulse Chain has a website, and we know what Pulse Chain is, right? It has a website. Everything has a website except Luna Classic, and we're still fighting about centralization or decentralization. We don't have a website. So, and then there's the vesting contract payment option. That one looks like it might have a chance here, but on the sidelines. But what I said was, let's reclassify. Let's see what the voting is on this. Let's get an idea of how people are voting. Jesus of Lord votes no. I think it's better we leave USTC alone. Community First says this will cause irreversible harm to our ecosystem. We are left speechless. While all the points are valid, we don't think this will prevent delisting in the EU, but will abandon the repeg goal. This one says refuse to change Lunk's long-term vision due to the erratic external policies. These people have some valid opinions, by the way. Adds no value. Don't keep using veto only for ridiculous proposals. Some more the deposit 80% come from investors, not all from validators. Hard-earned money. Please I don't know what that means. I don't get that one. HCC is a danger to the Terra Classic network and himself. Find another solution. So there you go. You can see that people are not on board. They're not on board with reclassifying to a meme coin. Would that even save it? That's the question, right? And there's no guarantee. Like somebody even said here, it doesn't guarantee that it's going to be saved. Most people so far are rejecting it because that, again, so people are saying that abandons the project as a repeg or something like that. And I don't think that's true. I don't really think that that's true. Okay. So, like maybe just, we'll have to, we'll have to see how this plays out. I think it's going to be delisted from the EU no matter what happens. The regulatory landscape is forever shifting and changing. So, we either comply or move on. There's plenty of non-KYC exchanges out there. So if you want to buy, you go to Weeks. Weeks is right over there. So all you have to do is go sign up at Weeks. It's in the comment. It's in the description down below, and you can trade Luna Classic whether you're in the EU, the United States, wherever you are. It's non-KYC. So you can go trade today. I don't think that's a big deal, but for some people it is. And of course, regulatory clarity, it does. All right, let's check out price action. So we've got a move that's been coming towards this upward range right here. And it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 days in the making since this last dump. Now, the question is, again, when you look at what I'm telling you right here and you see the market structure and you see this matching this matching this spike matching this spike, you get encouraged because that says we're going up, right? Now, I don't know that that is the case, and if there's not, I'm splitting hairs with you, by the way, when we talk about this, because when I look at the market, when I look at the structure, I see the top right here, I see that top right there, I see the spike right here, I see this spike either right there or right there, these two right there. Then we see this precipitous dump, and then we see this rally right here, which seems to be this rally right here. And then we have this curious little bottom. And is there a reversal, right? So let's look at that with a fine-tooth comb, and it gets a little different. So we look at that again right there. Look at that again right there. Then we see dump right here, and then we see that dump right there. Then recovery right there, the recovery right there, the dump right here, the dump right here, the pump right here, the pump right here. What comes after that? Another little dump down to the bottom one more time, coming down into this range at least. And by the way, that could still represent a huge amount. It might not be a small amount, but then we've got this big reversal coming in. So ultimately, heading this way, the question now is, are we going to dip one more final time before that absolutely explosive move happens? Now, I'm not telling you that the explosive move is going to happen. I'm telling you that it looks like it's going to happen. So make of that what you will. I do not know what the U.S. market is going to do in this context. I think that we're due for a massive upside move and a massive pump. I think that everything on every one of these charts indicates that it's going to happen. But I mean, until it does, you never know, right? So if it does, then I suspect that we're going to have a move up here to 3015, somewhere in that neighborhood, right into this range right here, with confirmation. Then a breakout, of course, is imminent. And how quickly can we get there? What's the momentum look like? And if the momentum looks good, then very quickly and very rapidly, we're going to start testing some of these highs again, all the way up to that 306 all-time high sort of level, right? So that's what we're waiting for. And again, zoom out here, and that's a little bit of a breakout. Now, when you look at that money flow, by the way, you're encouraged by what you see. You should be encouraged by what you see. When I zoom out and I change the dynamic of what it looks like, you kind of see, that flow is just a little bit off on everything right there, right about there. You can just kind of see, like it doesn't always match up. When it starts to pump or dump or something like that, it sometimes goes with the market. Right now it's running away from the markets. So, again, and this, by the way, this was during a period of collapse. If we look at other cryptos, they're much more closely paralleled because we were collapsing as an ecosystem. So now that we don't seem to be collapsing as an ecosystem during this kind of stuff, big money comes in, starts flowing, boom, we start taking off, and when that happens, we're going somewhere. Now, hopefully, again, we break out. As far as flows into the market, we're down big time. As far as USTC, we're down big time. Again, sign up at Weeks. You can trade Juris Protocol as well. Now, if you don't know what Juris Protocol is the anchor protocol of today, or is intended to be the anchor protocol of today. And what was the anchor protocol? It was the reason for Luna Classic in the first place. And we're going to talk about that all, by the way, tomorrow. I've done a deep dive into exactly what happened. I think you guys might be fascinated. So we're going to take tomorrow and we're going to talk about exactly how everything went down in the Luna Classic ecosystem. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see something in there that will tell us how to recover and how best that recovery gets put into place. As far as burns go, not a lot of burns, by the way. I'm going through it, and we're going to talk about Leonardo here. They're working on some stuff over here. Again, we haven't dug in yet, but we're going to dig in. 256 million is all that's been burned over the last 7 days. And you can see here, we're just dying on the vine when it comes down to it. Just no big burns, nothing with which to speak of. In today's burn, 6.8 million, way, way, way down. We've only burned 4,000 USD. So the shine The shine is off Luna Classic. By the way, let's remember the reason that it's off is 24-hour volume. 24-hour volume in the entire market. We did this last Monday. When I told you this last Monday, it was way down. It was a hundred and something billion dollars in trade volume. On Sunday, it was only 72 billion. So trade volume down 50%, down 50% from the last weekend. And by the way, look at this total right here. It's up 45% over the trade volume on Saturday. So, I mean, this is, this is your trade volume, right? And there's your spot market over the last 7 days. You can see right there. Oh, wait, crypto spot volume. Look at how low that got over the weekend here. Like that's crazy. Like we're way, way, way down. Calm before the storm. Is that, is the market capitulating? Has it capitulated? That's the question that we're asking right now. And look, I don't have an answer. What I can tell you is that on this market, when you look at it up here, then you can see that and by the way, you can see that that's kind of a recovery here from 6 a.m. This is about 6 a.m. yesterday. To 6 a.m. today. You see volume is going up, but that was really, really low volume over that weekend. So when you see stuff like that, again, people are kind of on the fringe about what's going on with USDC and Terra Luna Classic. So let me know what you think, by the way, in the comments down below. Let's be frank here. We need volume to come back in for burn purposes, but Binance is not doing any burns anymore. So now we got to come up with a way, like what are we going to do to enhance the burns? And maybe Binance is not going to do it because they've already made a commitment to burning. I don't know. I do think that, this is potentially the end of what we can even consider small minor burns. Like there's not a whole lot. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next little while. Binance, if Binance were to move their stuff around, I don't think it would have any effect on, the move because their wallet's whitelisted. So I don't know that there's I don't know. It's going to be complicated here. It's going to be very, very complicated here to see what happens and how we maintain some sort of level of burn. I mean, at best, what we'd be looking for is every crypto exchange that holds some Luna Classic, move it around your wallet 5 or 10 times today and do the same thing again tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like that's about it. It's 1.5% when you're burning those out. So, maybe. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Tomorrow, we're going to get into a deep dive into exactly what happened with Terra Luna Classic. Get everybody updated on, exactly what history looks like in case it gets muddied for a lot of people. And it does get muddied for a lot of people. So we'll see what happens. This is not financial advice, but I'm always